It's Sunday, June 9th, 2024. A lot to talk about today. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the comments. And please continue to share these videos all over your social media. Share them with your friends, family, whoever. Let's keep getting the message out. Keep sharing these videos. Keep putting the comments down below. You're waking up a lot of people. And I appreciate it. I know a lot of people appreciate it. I know a lot of people that read those comments. And I have to say, the comment section is probably the best on YouTube, without a doubt. Now, let's get right into the video today. I want to respond to a comment from yesterday where a woman said, in regards to what was happening with the newcomers, the illegals, whatever you want to call them, are you going to go in the fields and work in the fields? Because we need these people in order to eat, in order to survive. So she asked me if I'm going to go in the fields and work the fields. No, I'm not. My goal is to work my own fields, not somebody else's. But, you know, it's a good question. And a lot of people just don't really read. They're not really educated with what's going on. They don't look at the data, even though the data is very skewed. If people took 5 minutes, which I took about 5 minutes today, just look at some of the numbers. Here in America, we have roughly 283,000 undocumented workers working in our fields right now. America spends around $500 million a year on these illegals. And I'm sure that the number is much more than that. So over $500 billion a year plus spent on illegal. So I don't know how much it costs to have 283,000 undocumented. Now we have documented people that come over from all over the world and they pay taxes. They get you know, a place to live. They're here for a certain amount of time. That's great. But the 283,000 that are undocumented, we're paying for these people, okay? And looking at this number of over $500 million, do you think that, think about what we're paying 283,000 people to pick corn or lettuce or tomatoes. It's not $500 million. We're paying a huge price for people to come over and pick corn and lettuce. I can tell you that. And there's an easy solution. And first off, somebody commented yesterday saying that, you know, look at the automation that is coming in. AI, technology, robots, automation is going to take a lot of these jobs. We're not going to need a lot of these people in 5 or 10 years. But here's a solution I was thinking about today. Maybe I'm out of my mind here. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. But how about maybe, you know, if we don't have people here that will do it, well, maybe the people who are receiving government subsidy, who do nothing, maybe we should be having those people go out and work for those subsidies, for those welfare checks. You know, if people have 2 arms and 2 legs and are getting free money, or they're getting a free college tuition that we're paying for, maybe have those people go out there and work it off. We have millions of people who are capable of working who are not working. The problem is when you start giving free money to everybody and telling people they don't have to go to work, we're just going to give you free money and free food, why would they go out to the fields? Why would they do anything? When people get hungry, when Americans get hungry, they will work. I promise you, there is not a country in history through 5,000 years of history where when people got hungry, they didn't work. They work real quick. In fact, they'll do jobs they never thought they would humanly ever do if they get hungry. They would be more than happy to go work in a field. But we have, you know, roughly over 40 million people here from all over the world now, over the last couple decades. Now, 59.4% of illegal immigrants use 1 or more welfare programs. So to that person that made that comment last night, and most people completely disagreed with her, but thank you for the comment. But who's paying the 59.4% of these welfare programs? That 59.4% of these illegals are on 1 or more programs. Let's just say 60%. Who's paying for this? I'll tell you who's paying for it. I'm paying for it. The people watching this video today are paying for it. We have a high number of people who've come over here legally, also on welfare. 65 million. We have Americans on welfare. So we got people who shouldn't be here, people who should be here, and people who are here. 65 million people in this country are on welfare programs. Send these people to work in the fields. Send these people to go work. I'm sure that there's millions of these people very, very capable. 65 million people are on a welfare program or multiple programs in this country. So it's very, very easy. We have automation and we have people on welfare, government subsidies, who are more than capable to go work. Take those people, give them a job. They can go work in the fields. But in all honesty, when you're spending over $500 billion, and I know that number is much higher, on people that are coming from all over the world here, we should be able to pay people $100,000 a year to go work in the fields, and we would be saving a lot of money in the long run. Because when you look at how many hospitals are closing now because they can't afford to take care of all these people, when you look at the crime, what it's doing to the legal system with prosecutions, you look at that police officer last week who lost his life by somebody who shouldn't have been here. We're paying a huge price to have people come here and work in the fields, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on that. And again, this is not political. This isn't left or right. We're talking numbers here. We are talking about economics here because somebody at the end of the day has to pay for this. People are paying for it with their lives. People are paying with it through their taxes. And is this where the money should really be going? When we have all these people right here in America right now who are more than capable to go out and work, and they're not. We're giving them free money. I think this is a huge burden on the country. I think it sends a horrible message, and we're not motivating people to get off the couch and go work when we should be. We should not be rewarding laziness. We should not be rewarding people with free money to just do nothing and not be productive and not produce something. Here's one today. San Francisco opens first taxpayer-funded free food market. What could possibly go wrong? San Francisco has opened its first $5.5 million free food market in an area where many grocery stores have left due to the high crime rate. Approved residents simply show a benefits eligibility card, load up their carts with whatever they want, check out. This keeps track of the outgoing inventory, and they leave without paying a dime. Who is paying for this? You are. I am. I know that there are people out there that need help, but we're making it way too easy for people who could be doing something, who could be producing something. And at the end of the day, the taxpayers, how are they affording this? You're paying for college tuition debt that you didn't get a degree, these people did, and you're paying for it. There's doctors and lawyers out there that you're paying for their tuition debt, that are making incomes of over $300,000 a year, and you're paying for this. There are people that can go work today that are getting these cards in San Francisco, and basically it's a Costco card, and once a month they can go into this place and receive anything that they want, while you and I pay for this, pay college tuition debt, pay for people from other countries to come here, give them $5,000 debit cards, give them jobs, give them welfare on top of the jobs. It's a complete financial disaster. Again, this is not political. I don't care if you're right, left, in the middle. We are purely talking about the economics here. I'm not an economist, but I can add 2 + 2. I do pay taxes, and it makes me furious where this money is going. And then on top of that, how much money is leaving the country and going to other countries supporting more wars. This is going to really end bad for the United States of America. We are printing so much money, we're taxing people, we're borrowing so much money, and this is going to end very, very bad. The Hedge today, payrolls, instant reaction. In this article, and I'll just go through it briefly here, it talks about the 2 surveys that we have here in America. One, the establishment survey, which makes everything look good. The economy's good, the consumer's doing really well, the labor market's doing well, everything's fine. Then you have what's called the household survey. If you live in the household survey, you know things are not good. You know the labor market is not good. Even though they tell you there's 8+ million jobs out there, many of these jobs don't even exist. Many of these jobs, most of them, if not all, are part-time jobs. But if you live in the household survey, you live in the real world, in my opinion, and you know things are not that good. If you live outside of that and you live in the establishment survey, then life is fine. But most people live in the household survey. And according to the household survey, last month, we lost 625,000 full-time jobs, adding 286,000 part-time jobs. Which one is correct? Which one do you believe in? Do you believe that Everything is fine. Do you believe that the 286,000 jobs created were full-time, well-paying, good wage jobs? Or do you believe they were part-time jobs? I believe we're losing a lot of part-time jobs and that we're gaining these part-time jobs. We're losing full-time jobs. We are losing full-time, good-paying jobs, and we are seeing more and more part-time jobs. This is why so many people in America have to work 2, 3, even 4 jobs now just to get by. Very, very disturbing data, ladies and gentlemen, and we should all be very, very concerned because we're all going to be affected by this no matter where we live, what part of the country we're in, one way or another. As the country gets deeper and deeper into debt, approaching $35 trillion of debt, the deficits get bigger. It doesn't matter where you live. You're going to be affected one way or another because you have a 401k, you have a pension, you have a retirement, you have savings, whatever it may be. These things are all in jeopardy because of what's happening right now. No matter where you live, you could live in Timbuktu, but at the end of the day, they're telling you by 2035, you're going to take a huge haircut with Social Security because they robbed it. So you're going to be affected. If you live in Mayberry, you're going to be affected. The Hedge today, how homicide rates have changed since 2012, and they list all the states. I won't go over all of them, but homicide rates have increased in 43 of 46 states, and it gives the data from 2012 to 2022, and I'll go over a few of these states for you because it is really, really alarming. And you know, we talk daily about what's happening to the economy, but as the economy worsens, crime is also going to worsen. They go hand in hand. And this to me is a real barometer of the U.S. economy because you're watching crime spiral out of control because the economy is also spiraling out of control. Mississippi, crime is up. This is from 2012 to 2022. Mississippi, crime is up 103%. Louisiana, 64%. Alabama, it's up 71%. New Mexico, up 120%. Missouri, it's up 75%. Georgia, 74%. Illinois, up 68%. Alaska, crime is up 104%. Colorado, it's up 85%. Montana, up 125%. Hawaii, crime is up 100%. And South Dakota, get this, crime is up 188%. This country is heading in a very, very bad direction. This economy is broken. Society is broken. The morality of this country is broken. And it's going to get much worse. You're going to see these crime numbers. This is minuscule to where the crime numbers are going to be in a year or two from now. Imagine if the lights went out. Imagine if people weren't getting those welfare checks. Imagine if those plastic cards that they take to the grocery store didn't work. Imagine what happens when these people from other countries don't have a hotel room, when they don't have a debit card that works. What do you think is going to happen? When people are forced to go and work and get a job and there are no jobs, what do you think is going to happen? When people get hungry, this is when the trouble begins, ladies and gentlemen. When people get hungry, the trouble begins. As long as people are eating and the government's feeding them and they have that plastic card, everything's fine. Once that stops working, big trouble ahead. Here's another article today, very disturbing, and again, just reiterates why we are collapsing, why the economy is collapsing, why your purchasing power is collapsing, why your standard of living is collapsing. This coming out of Illinois, Governor Fitzger enacts $750 million tax increase bill. I mean, how can you increase taxes when people are in this much trouble, when people are struggling like they are? But this is what they always do, because when the states are in trouble, the cities are in trouble, the municipalities are in trouble, they are going to squeeze blood out of a turnip one way or another. At least they're going to try. Fitzger signed a $53.1 billion, with a B, $51.3 billion budget on Wednesday. Friday, he signed a tax measure that includes capping the credit businesses can get for claiming net operating losses and capping the discount retailers get for collecting and remitting sales tax. Local businesses are going to see an extreme loss. he is going to put more businesses out of businesses. Businesses that can get out of the state are going to be running to get out of the state. But for the businesses that cannot, they're going to struggle to keep their doors open. They are going to struggle to stay in business. They are going to continue to tax people at the worst possible time. I mean, we are literally in a depression now, in my opinion, and they're raising taxes on businesses, they're raising taxes on people. As inflation continues to rise, as the economy slows down, as job losses increase, they're raising taxes. Really, really bad combination. King World News. Special report, real estate blues. I've been watching some real estate shows on YouTube. I watch them a lot. I was watching Sachs Realty today. If you haven't seen that channel, Sachs, S-A-C-H-S, I believe it's spelled, Sachs Realty, great channel. The host of that show, he's a real estate broker on the East Coast, I believe Massachusetts area, but he is one of the people who is calling it, I believe, correctly. And he's a broker, been in the real estate business for many, many years, and he's just telling people the way it is. So if you get a chance to check it out. According to the article, about 1 in every 37 U.S. home loans qualifies as seriously underwater, meaning the homeowner owes at least 25% more on their mortgages than the house is worth. We saw this massive bidding war in 21, 22, institutional money coming in, investment money coming in, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, people doing whatever they had to do to buy a house, borrow from their parents, ask for no contingencies whatsoever, no home inspections. This pushed prices to all-time highs. In 2019, 1.7 million Americans bought homes using adjustable rate mortgages, also known as ARMs. Here we are now in 2024, and those rates are adjusting, and many of those people are in big, big trouble. Many of these people were going to sell these homes before rates adjusted. Well, rates have skyrocketed, and these people are stuck in these homes with fewer qualified buyers, interest rates that have literally doubled or even tripled from back in 2019, and they're in big trouble. They can't afford these houses. They're upside down, they're underwater, and now the buyers are not buying. They're not paying 7% plus on a mortgage. Many people don't qualify. Many people just are not in the housing market at this point. They've had it. And so these people who bought with an ARM, they're in trouble. They're really, really in trouble. But again, 1 in 37 U.S. home loans qualifies as seriously underwater, meaning the homeowner owes at least 25% more on that mortgage than the house is worth. This number is going to rise, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the problem. People are losing jobs. When people lose jobs, they can't buy a house. If they already have a house, they can't keep the house. Inflation, wages not keeping up with inflation. Debt. People have taken on so much debt. And then you just have life. People die, people get divorced, people just want to move, they want to downsize, they want to upsize, whatever. This is going to be big trouble for the housing market because more inventory is coming on every day on top of all these homes that are being built right now by the home builders. This is going to be, I think, a collapse that people said could never happen. It's going to happen. When it happens, I don't know, but we're beginning to see more and more price reductions, days on market longer, listings piling up more and more every day now, and too many people are chasing the market down. If you're in this market right now and you're a seller, you better get ahead of this really, really quick, because the longer you stay on, the more you're going to cost yourself. And too many sellers chase the market down, and by the time they realize, when their neighbor next door just sold, the $700,000 house, and all they could get was, $550,000. That's the new comp, ladies and gentlemen. That's your house now. You're not getting 700 like you probably could have back in 2022. Now your neighbor just sold because maybe, he had to, his wife lost a job, he lost a job, and they had to just sell quickly and sold the house for 550, 575. That is the new comp. That's what the bank now comps your house at. So now you are chasing the market down, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get the 575. Now it may be less than that. This is how it works. I want to close with this last one from the Daily Mail. Beloved Mexican restaurant becomes the latest to shut its doors in California after iconic chain closed 48 restaurants over the state's $20 minimum wage. That was Rubio's. This is not Rubio's. This restaurant in San Diego, I believe it's pronounced Salud Tacos. They opened in 2015 in San Diego. Well, they're having problems negotiating their lease, the wage increase. They've got to be competitive. They just can't afford to pay people to make tacos. They can't afford to pay them $20 an hour. And then, of course, the massive lease. And what's really interesting here is they, according to this article, have been trying to negotiate their lease and could not. And so it just seems like the landlord or whoever owns the property would rather just have a vacant building. Very, very odd, because we're seeing more and more of that. For the past year, the owner trying to negotiate a new lease, nothing has come to fruition, the article says. The owner concluded, after many sleepless nights, after wrestling with my thoughts and emotions, and after much consideration, I've decided to close our doors to Salud as we know it. What a shame. I think this is absolutely hideous, what is taking place. My recommendation would be, if you could, get out of the state of California and go open Salud up in another state. Go to Arizona, go somewhere. I think you'll have much better luck. But they're doing everything, at least here in the state of California, and probably your state too, to chase business out, to chase taxpayers out. This is unbelievable. And why these landlords or whoever owns this building, and this is just another example that these small businesses cannot negotiate these leases. For some reason, the leases keep going up, and we see more and more vacancies. So what good is a vacant building? When nobody's paying a lease, wouldn't it be better to take a little less than have nobody in the building whatsoever? I just don't get it. I can't wrap my head around it. But, how sad. Another small business bites the dust here. And the state of California, with this $20 minimum wage, and this is coming to a state near you also, has done nothing but to close more restaurants, and more people working in their fast food career are losing their jobs because of this. People are getting hours cut, they're losing jobs, and a lot of these restaurants are just closing. And look, we're just now getting ready to enter summer. What's this look like in November, December? How many of these restaurants are going to be gone? A lot more. Really, really sad. I just don't even know what to say when somebody worked so hard, opened this business in 2015, 9 years later. It's not from a lack of business. It's because he just can't afford to pay the wages. He can't afford his overhead. At some point, you just can't make enough tacos. You can't make enough burritos to keep up with inflation, food costs, labor costs, wages, and the lease. You just can't do it. There's not enough days in the week. And people that run these businesses are just tapping out. They're done. And it's really, really sad, because all we're going to have is the Taco Bells, the Del Tacos, the McDonald's, the Burger Kings on every street corner. The big boys, the big corporations will survive, while these mom and poppers continue to just die off. The places that have the real good food, the food that, isn't killing you, like McDonald's, the food that, is home cooked, made with love, has, really tastes really good. Haven't eaten at this place, but there's a lot of really good mom and pop places out there that no longer exist because they just can't afford to. And so more people are forced to fast food, lower quality food, dangerous food, in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts on this stuff. It's just another sad news update, and this is going to continue to happen. And of course, Rubio's closing 48 of their restaurants. A lot of people lost their jobs. Whoever owns those buildings, not getting paid. 48 restaurants now vacant. Nobody paying. So everybody wanted that $20 minimum wage. Now they don't have a job. I'm going to leave it there today. Comment down below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And, you know, as I close today, make sure you're walking close to God. Give all glory to God. And make sure you thank God tonight for your health, for another day of life. If you have a job, thank God you have a job. Do whatever you need to do to keep that job. We have a lot to be thankful for, even in these hard times. But I will truly say this. God is waking people up to get ready and prepare, because if you think it's tough now, if you think that these are tough times, wait till you see what is coming. There is no doubt in my mind that we're going to see historic times in America, socially, economically, spiritually. We're going to see some historic times coming. So be prepared for that, ladies and gentlemen. Most people are not, and they're going to get brutalized with what's coming. Make sure you don't. God bless.